And the bit that's doing my head in, mate, is that presidential healthcare is the best in the world. Like, it's up there with the King of England. He literally has a flying emergency room in Air Force One. He travels with an ambulance wherever they drive around. And of course, there's those battery of tests where each and every year they check for this, they check for that. Not to mention the ongoing. I'd imagine if you're the president, they're taking a vial of blood every 2 weeks just to make sure that everything's okay. Yet none of this showed the prostate cancer that is now apparently so advanced that it is, it's life-threatening.
No, so far what we've seen is that the annual exams of Joe Biden did not include any reporting about this so-called PSA test, which every man over 50 in the States is advised to get. It's so easy. You don't have to do anything invasive or uncomfortable. Just when you give your blood at your annual physical, you check the box that says, and please add the PSA test to see if these antigens that might say you have some activity happening in the prostate are up. So it's a nothing burger. I mean, if you're going to check my lipids, very easy to say. And also, hey, check out the prostate. We'd like to know. And so the reality is Joe Biden's probably been getting that PSA test for some 30 years now. And what, it just happened to stop when he went into the White House? President Trump is getting it. That's his annual physical. President Obama got it. It was on his annual physical. President George W. Bush got it. It was on his. Only Joe Biden doesn't have it. And only Joe Biden is the oldest president in U.S. history. And only Joe Biden actually has prostate cancer, which all of the prostate cancer experts say for 5 to 7 years. They're lying to us. They have been covering this up for years. That's my informed opinion based on these facts. And they ran him for re-election, I believe, knowing that he had terminal prostate cancer that had metastasized to his bones. And they did it because it was better than the alternative of admitting that he couldn't do it and that Trump was likely to win. They wanted to get Kamala Harris across the finish line the old-fashioned way, on the arm of the white guy who brought her. And only when they couldn't hide his mental infirmity anymore because of that debate did they have to admit he couldn't be the one, and then they still remained silent until they could use it for sympathy in an effort to shut down the discussions about the massive cover-up around his dementia problem.
Now, what's the hardcore Democrat reaction to this? I know on the fringes some are trying to say nothing to see here, but there's plenty to see here.
If Joe Biden had cancer while he was the U.S. president, even potentially any cancer, but terminal cancer, and was running for re-election without disclosing it, it's the biggest presidential history, or it's the biggest presidential scandal in U.S. history. It is the biggest presidential scandal we've had. He and his close cabal would have been actively trying to defraud the American public into hiring him for a job he knew he was unfit to do and could not complete. The only questions I have are, how do we get to the bottom of exactly when he was told and who else knew and how we hold them accountable?